Welcome to Baltic World. My name is Crispin. In addition to all of the other content that's heavily edited and polished that you're familiar with in this channel, we are also going to start a more rapid-fire news reaction series where I find articles from Northern, Central, and Eastern Europe. I read them out to you, we go through them together, and then I give my thoughts and reactions on what has been reported. So in other words, contextualizing that in a broader context, and we can continue that discussion in the comments below. Now, if you find value in this series, and I'll brand it specifically, they'll be very obvious in the thumbnails and descriptions, please like and subscribe and also share these videos. Things have picked up since we rebranded to Baltic World, so thanks very much, guys, for your support, but we would really love to go from strength to strength here, and one of the things we can do is upload even more content. So let's get started. The first article I have is from the South China Morning Post, and it says, Lithuania says throw away Chinese phones due to censorship concerns. Let's go through it. Via Reuters as well, Lithuania's defense ministry recommended that consumers avoid buying Chinese mobile phones and advised people to throw away the ones they already have now after a government report found that the devices had built-in censorship capabilities. Flagship phones sold in Europe by China's smartphone giant Xiaomi Corporation have built-in ability to detect and censor terms such as Free Tibet, Long Live Taiwan Independence, Democracy Movement, Lithuania's state-run cybersecurity body said on Tuesday. The capability in Xiaomi's M110 5G phone software had been turned off for the European Union region, but can be turned on remotely at any time, the Defense Ministry's National Cybersecurity Center said in the report. I'll have to find the report. Well, let's pause there and discuss it. Xiaomi apparently did not respond to Reuters' request for comment. Xiaomi phones have been exploding on the scene. In fact, I owned one myself. The Xiaomi F1 Poco phone was their flagship product that they had released in India to great acclaim. It had all of the specs of the later Samsung, but was half the price. It took India by storm, and I purchased one as well. I no longer have it, of course, but I did enjoy it while I did have it. It performed really well. And then a few things happened. India froze out 50 Chinese apps for reasons that are very similar to what is in this report. Basically that the apps were collecting data in an unauthorized way, potentially censoring, potentially being spyware and malware, ransomware being injected into people's devices. And remember, in China, there is no such thing as privacy. Everything you do is tracked, recorded, and rated in their dystopian social credit system. So even things like cash and cards have been abolished, essentially, just through normal human behavior. So almost all financial transactions are through mobile devices, people scanning their QR codes and the like. Even beggars on the street have little QR codes in China. It's really quite bizarre. And it is thus not at all surprising that all Chinese-made kind of smartphones, smartwatches, any kind of network devices will have inbuilt in the system spyware technologies that allow it to communicate with the Chinese Communist Party exactly what you're doing and who you're doing it with. Likewise, it is understandable that they would shut these devices off because otherwise they're very unlikely to be able to be used in Western countries, but it would, in commensurate with their MO, maintain that ability to switch on at any time, and probably do for national security, espionage, and various other kind of industrial espionage, stealing kind of commercial secrets reasons. That your Chinese-built device is very likely recording and transmitting more or less everything that you do at any time. So keep that in mind. Moreover, there is a new risk in purchasing Chinese, particularly technology devices, that goes beyond all of this. The CCP has cracked down hard within China on their tech giant entrepreneurs. This all started when Jack Ma, the founder of Alipay or Alibaba, gave a critical speech, a scathing speech, against the Chinese regulators, for whom he accused of being anti-competitive and hampering innovation. Well, that outraged Xi Jinping and the Chinese leadership. Jack Ma had his wings fully clipped. I'm sure, no doubt, like he went missing for a while. He's now out and about, but no doubt has his travel heavily circumscribed. And this has scared a lot of other Chinese CEOs, tech leaders, into doing all kinds of philanthropic work to prostrate themselves before the CCP, who have really clamped down hard on them. And this will no doubt stifle further innovation, investment, flow of capital, particularly as investors in these companies become frightened that if they invest in Chinese-based firms, the CCP will just come in and wipe them out through some either political reason or geopolitical issue with various governments. So investment in tech in China is no longer safe. And then on the demand side, on the consumer side, given the fact that the CCP has moved heavily to control these companies, even if these companies wanted to avoid being embroiled in these kinds of scandals, very unlikely the CCP will allow them to sell whole new products completely free of this kind of technological ability to the rest of the world. So for your own interest, beyond the privacy concerns, which are very serious, you should divest yourselves particularly of Chinese network devices, not only because of the spyware, not only because it's patriotic, although it is that, but just purely for commercial reasons. You will find that as capital flows out of China to other places, other businesses, you will find better products and devices that serve your needs better, service the community, being released in other places. Now, I understand Chinese products have been cheap, and for all of the kind of jokes about China making crap that all breaks down and stuff, that hasn't been true for quite a while. China's products have just been good value, but nevertheless, it comes with a price. So just as governments who trade with the Chinese Communist Party pay a price for all the money that they receive, and Australia has certainly experienced that more than most, you pay that price at an individual level as well. So good on the Lithuanian defense establishment for identifying this risk. Of course, Lithuania has suffered at the hands of China recently in all kinds of ways, specifically blocking all rail freight entering China from Lithuania, dairy products, agricultural products, and that's because Lithuania has opened formal diplomatic relations with Taiwan, not recognized as a country or anything like that, just opened mutual diplomatic offices. So China has targeted Lithuania specifically, and there is a great risk in China doing this because as Lithuania continues to expose how various bits of technology are being used to advance the national interests of the Communist Party at the expense of European consumers, it won't just be Lithuania that starts pushing back on Chinese products, it'll also be the rest of the European Union. So when it comes to China, the European Union is almost fulfilling its function well. It remains to be seen how far the solidarity of the European Union with Vilnius extends, hopefully all the way, because, if Chinese products are violating the privacy rights to free speech of Europeans, then the entire European Union must respond. And many countries within the European has extremely tight data security laws. Germany, the Netherlands, these are all for good, legacy reasons. And questions arise as to whether or not this inbuilt backdoor system actually violates those laws as they stand today. So hopefully various European institutions, national governments within Europe we'll start looking this as well. Anyway, thank you very much for listening. Leave a like and a comment, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.